From Motus Ninjas in Kansas City, Missouri, this is the World Ninja League Premier Series. Hello everyone, I'm Alex Cunningham alongside Philip Scott for the Kids Division as we begin the second half of our season. You can see there our course designers, TJ Rayhawk, Donovan Matoyer, Caltran, very experienced in the ninja world. Philip, they are going to have quite a test for our athletes this week.
Absolutely, Alex. Thanks for having me. This is going to be a showdown. Motus Ninjas is such a great gym. They have such unique obstacles, and I think this is going to be just an incredible competition today. We got the best of the best in the Heartland region and other regions as well. Alex, why don't you take us through the format?
Sure thing. If this is your first time at the World Ninja League Premier Series, here's how it works. Every athlete will run 2 stages. Starting with the placement course, it's your traditional fall and you're done format. It's going to be fast, it's going to be furious, and that will determine the run order for the challenge course. And for most of our divisions, that has proved to be a good omen. If you're finishing high in the placement course, it tells you exactly what you need to do in the challenge course. Now, in the challenge course, a new course format for Season 9 of the World Ninja League. 2 retries you can use anywhere on the course, but you can't use both on the same obstacle. You do have to complete each obstacle to move on to the next, so if you fail to complete any obstacle, that is going to be the end of your run. I think I heard the time limit was about 3.5 minutes for that challenge course, so it's going to be an endurance fest. And these course designers did not hold back on that challenge course. It's going to be a lot of fun to watch. And that challenge course will determine
Blue, blue,
who
blue,
moves
blue.
on to the
No!
Premier
What? Why
Series
can't I hear
finals.
anything?
The top
I
4
can
boys,
hear.
top 4 girls will be joining the other top kids from around the world at Ferox Athletics in Brooklyn on the weekend
Nothing.
before Thanksgiving.
Hello, konnichiwa. Hello.
And you can see some of the obstacles in the back there. What I'm most excited for, I'm not sure what they called it. I believe we heard it called VCRs, but later in the weekend, those boxes are going to be dropping, and they're going to have to take them out of the slots, so to speak. Hard exactly to describe until we see it in action, but that is a brand new obstacle, never before seen. And we also have some classic Worlds obstacles like the fidget finale and the croquet mallets.
Yeah, I saw that VCR box obstacle. I saw Donovan attempting it. And it was crazy. And I'm sure it's going to be just as tough for these kids here. So, looking through this run order, we got a really stacked field. Most notably, we have the kids champion Myka Daniel running fourth in the placement course. So, I think she's definitely one to watch. Who else you got on your list?
Well, leading us off is going to be Scarlett Peffley. Got to make sure I pronounce that name right. Scarlett was the number 1 point getter in the regional standings for the Heartland division. So she is going to be leading her fellow Heartland athletes into battle. And if my computer can stop crashing, there we go. We also have several Stage 3 athletes, obviously Myka Daniel, our champion, but also Victoria Wren made it to Stage 3. She was number 3 in the world at the World Championships just a few months ago. Over on the boys' side, a number of athletes that made it to Stage 2. We have Easton, I hope I'm pronouncing this right, Easton Guemmer, who was also number 1 in the Heartland State standings, made it to Stage 2 at the World Championship. Also Eli Liu and Ellis Kraft, and also Ivan Schmidt, all athletes that made it to Stage 2, looking to get on the top of the podium here today. So as a reminder, 2 courses, we're going to be doing everybody in the placement course first, and so far this season, a lot of athletes have cleared this course, and it's really going to come down to time.
Yeah, yep, it definitely will be coming down to time here. Especially in the kids division, everybody goes so fast. I've noticed that so much more than a lot of the other divisions. Like the younger the
Miss
divisions,
Scarlett,
I mean,
we need you down on the start line for the. We're
I
gonna get
think
rocking and rolling.
the kids and like mature kids, whenever I see them run, they seem to just keep running and running, like they don't really take any breaks. It's kind of crazy. So super impressive how much endurance these athletes have regardless of their age.
Yeah, I mean, especially in these younger divisions, they have so much energy and they run these courses so aggressively, so quickly. And these placement courses, certainly in the younger divisions, have really come down to fractions of seconds. I know a couple of times the top runners in these divisions have been determined by a tenth of a second or less. And it is definitely going to be razor quick that these athletes are going to be attacking this placement course.
And here we go. We have our
All right.
first runner.
It's going to be Scarlett Peffley. Scarlett, as we mentioned, was the number 1 athlete in the Heartland standings in the regular season. Like many of her fellow kids, roundabout in stage 1 was a bit of a hang-up for her at the World Championship, but looking to get some revenge on that today and looking to show why she was the number 1 athlete in the Heartland division. She's going to be the number 1 athlete as we kick off the second half of our Premier Series season. 90 seconds on the clock. Looks like just getting some last second instructions. Especially for these younger divisions. She wants to get going so hard when you get iced, and we are underway.
Right into Lachey bars.
And usually you see Lachey's a little bit later in the course, but we are testing these athletes immediately, and once we get later into these divisions, those athletes are going to be linking those, and they're going to be razor quick. Some tough balance also. I think she might have slipped off the Stegosaurus. And yeah, unfortunately she did.
Just slipped off there.
Tough break. That Stegosaurus, so precise, you really need to hit it right in the center of the ball of your foot. Barely anything to stand on, and when you're trying to do this course quickly, that can become a hang-up. I have a feeling that she will not be the only one who goes down on that obstacle.
Definitely. Those balance obstacles, static balance is very deceiving. And especially in a speed course, you can just, you can't overlook it. You got to keep your feet under you.
We will see how the later athletes tackle that, as we're going to be moving on to Autumn Standage coming up next. Autumn was one of our invited athletes, invited by Motus, so looking to show why she's earned her invitation. Admittedly a bit of a wild card for us, but we are looking forward to seeing what she's got. In the track stands, and she is underway. 90 seconds, as we said, getting these Lachey started. This is a pretty sizable Lachey for the kids division, right at the first obstacle.
Yeah, absolutely. You just got to be efficient right out of the gate here, which she is doing very well. Got to go right to the dismount, and there she is.
Very good. And I think we will see, as these later runners progress, the athletes who are able to do that obstacle in the least amount of swings are going to be the most successful. And again, out on the Stegosaurus. This is the World Ninja League Premier Series. Even early on in the placement course, we are not playing around today.
You're right, Alex. The Stegosaurus, the gaps are pretty big for these kids, but yeah, it's definitely something you just, like I said, you got to keep your feet under you. You got to move very efficiently. Keep your center of gravity kind of high. Just make sure that you're not swaying side to side. You just got to go and commit. You can't really think about it too much. If you sway too much to one side or the other, you got to just keep moving.
Well, based on the iconic blue and yellow jumper, I'm going to take a guess and say our next athlete is out of Obstacle Academy in Minnesota. It's Claire Wilkins.
Yep.
Fourth
She
ranked
definitely
athlete
is.
in the North Central. Now, this is the most centralized location, so we're going to have a number of North Central athletes competing this weekend. And Clara, there you go, linking the dismount. I think that's the fastest through the laches so far, but nobody threw the Stegosaurus yet. Until now, I spoke too soon. Taking a look at the replay here, that linked dismount. And that Stegosaurus has just been causing our athletes fits so far, just trying to take it a little bit too quickly, I think. All right, I'm flying solo for the moment for our world champion, Myka Daniel. Was number 2 in the North Central in the regular season and then completed all 3 stages at the World Championship, taking it all home. So looking to be our Premier Series champion as well. She's also out of Obstacle Academy. And Myka's underway. And there's those links. We were waiting for that. World champion quality out of Myka, but nobody has beaten the Stegosaurus so far. And Myka is through. Now we're going to get to see the back half of this placement course as we begin some X-laches here. Getting right off of them. And since she was the first runner, forgot where to go for a second. Everybody else has been caught up on the Stegosaurus. She's kind of flying blind. Up to that trapeze now, getting a big swing. She has a lot of explosiveness, but just wasn't able to catch that ice cream sandwich. I'm guessing a lot of the other divisions will have to catch in the center there. That's going to be a very precise and
grab.
Myka's
Kids
underway.
get to grab the top.
That makes
And there's those
links. Thick mini UFO, so difficult to grab onto. Really, here. Naturally as human beings, we rely a lot on our thumbs to grab onto the bottom of things. Here, you really have to front grip that, and that is such a difficult grab. But Myka leading the way here, taking first place so far in the challenge, in the placement course, by quite a bit.
Yeah, this placement course is just it's just been so brutal. I don't even know what to say. This has been very interesting to watch because most of the placement courses this season have not really had many balance elements. Usually it's just been a lot of links and stuff, but
let's see how Claire Mattern can take on this Stegosaurus, see if she can be the second, and skips that last peg. Very smart move by Claire.
There she goes, right into these trapezes, looking very efficient.
This tricky bounce off of that spinning log onto the quad steps. She's through, and this is where Myka went down a moment ago. Can Claire get past our world champion and take first place so far in the placement course?
Well, she's under this bowl hold, and then she's going right into this trapeze, building up the swing.
Ooh. Makes the catch.
Great grab
She's
there.
She's out of there, and that was the last obstacle, so that is a clear, see if she can be the right second. Around 1 minute. Tremendous run by Claire Mattern.
Yeah, that was very efficient. No wasted movement there at all. Looking very smooth. She is our first She is our first finisher with a time of 1:06.
Victoria? Okay.
Well, one more kids female athlete to go. It's Victoria Wren. And this is another athlete that made it to stage 3. She made it all the way to the next to last obstacle of stage 3, finished in 3rd place. So 1st and 3rd in the World Championships are here today. Victoria getting going here. And I love this lâché technique. Not quite links, but grabbing behind the bar, giving her the momentum to only need to take one backswing.
Yeah, she did link that last one, though, and she's flying through right now into the trapezes. Made it through the balance lane, no problem.
Quickly through the X lâchés, and now on to that sonic curve obstacle. She gets through. And now these bull holds. Took out Myka Daniel a moment ago, but we just saw Claire get through. This is the rubber match for our competitors. Can she get this last hold? She can! And she's going to get out of there with, I believe, our fastest time. Yes, 50 seconds.
By 10 seconds,
This
wow.
last hold, she can! And she's going to get out of there by Victoria.
Yeah.
You can see there, by 10 whole seconds, getting 1st place. She will be running last in the challenge course. Claire will be right before her, and then Myka.
Yeah, it's just so interesting how you just think, wow, like 10 whole seconds, but Claire did not have a slow run by any means. She was very efficient and smooth, so it's so interesting to like try to figure out where they gained and lost time.
But it'll certainly make for an interesting challenge course as we move on to the boys now. Caleb Marriott will be going first.
Now Caleb out
Actually,
of
I think this might be Shane. Based on the Next Level Ninja shirt. I think this is Shane Young. Bit of graphic technical difficulties. We're working on it. As Shane repping Next Level Ninjas in New Jersey. Great save there on the Stegosaurus.
Fantastic save. Yep. Those Next Level Ninjas, they're all about the links, and he shows it right there.
Yeah, I mean, when you train with Joe Capo and Abby Clark, you definitely know how to lâché through stuff quickly.
Yes.
There we go.
Yep, and he
Nice
does a
link on the
nice
trapeze.
little backswing there.
See if you can grab this bull right in the front of it. Great finger strength. And that's going to be our fastest clear of the day so far, 46 seconds.
That was a great run. He was just linking no problem there. He was just...
Hey, Eli,
that little like backswing he did onto that like first bull hold thingy was really great tech. I was really impressed with that, and I knew he would get through the rest of that obstacle really efficiently.
Yeah, Shane, our fastest clear of the day so far. Plenty of athletes still behind him looking to take it down, including Eli Liu, who made it about halfway through stage 2 at the WNL Championships, which he is representing on his shirt. There's the links. Eli coming out of Ninja Mania in New England.
Yep, he's just got to commit and go, and he does just that. Right into the trapezes.
Yeah, athletes finally starting to figure out that Stegosaurus after the first 3 athletes of the day went out there. Now here's this sonic curve obstacle. Little low on the steps, but great recovery.
Now for this big bull hold lâché. Can he get
Pretty
this
long
grab?
lâché, but most of our athletes have been getting
Gotta
this.
grab low, but he grabs high.
Including
and gets
Eli.
it.
Great run. Even Donovan's happy with that. 53 seconds. Very good run by Eli.
Grabs high.
Including Eli.
Yeah, he
Great run.
Lâché. I was like, whoa, he's getting way too much swing, but no, he proved me wrong. He got a really high grab on it and just kept that grip. No problem.
Looks like Ellis Craft will be our next athlete, or is this Ellis?
In any case, here he goes.
Yeah, very nice throwing the hips back on the laches. He's going to link this last one. I think he does.
Something I noticed there, he has a lot of core control. He looked really smooth and controlled here. See if he could do that on here.
Oh. Yeah, very nice. Yeah, sometimes these younger athletes just get a little bit ahead of this last one, especially on tricky balance like that. Definitely one to watch for in the challenge course. And yeah, that was Ellis. So that means Becca Klein will be coming up next. Beckett left us a nice athlete bio here. Says he was first place in the Heartland Regionals as he's coming out of Ultimate Ninja St. Louis on the other side of the state. Also plays soccer, basketball, and football.
Going right for these links.
Oh, wow, that is quick. Made it to the end of stage 2 at the World Championship. Oh, careful on that stego!
Oh.
And yeah, we mentioned you gotta hit right in the center of the ball of your foot.
Going right for these links.
One of them and that threw. Oh wow, that is quick.
Yeah, just slipped off that last that last one. I think he was just a little too hesitant though getting onto it. I think you just have to walk on and just, like I said, just keep going, keep your momentum going forward. Don't worry if you're slipping too much on one side or the other.
Well, next up, out another Obstacle Academy athlete. It's Grant Wolff. He was the #1 athlete in the North Central standings back in Season 8. Taking a conservative approach on these laches.
But he's through, and now he's moving through onto the Stegosaurus.
Yeah, I mean, if you can beat this Stegosaurus obstacle, it doesn't really matter how fast you are on the laches. You're still going to be running after a number of athletes as he gets through it.
Now he's headed right for the trapezes. No problem. Headed right for the dismount.
Sonic curve up next. Two-footed takeoff, but it works.
Now sizing up this bull hold lache.
Incidentally, it says his favorite ninja is Donovan Matoyer. Hopefully we will see some unbiased refereeing. I'm kidding, of course.
But he's going for this last bull hold, and he's got it.
And he is through in a time of, I believe, 109. Yes. Great run by
he's
Green.
got it. Yeah, he was just smooth and controlled that whole run.
And he is through in a time.
Definitely. He took a little cautious approach there at the start with the laches, but he was confident. He knew what he was doing the whole run.
Yeah, I mean, whatever works, right? And he is going to be running after the athletes who went out on the Stegosaurus. So the important thing is that you clear here. Ivan Schmidt is going to be our next athlete, another athlete out of Ultimate Ninja St. Louis. Made it to the next to last obstacle stage 2 this year, and he is linking quickly. Links that whole thing.
Really aggressive, throwing those hips, driving that core. It's moving right. Oh, he just.
Oh, careful! Oh, he got it! He got it!
Oh wow, he did get it.
Yeah, just barely catching it. That might be reviewed, but in the meantime, he is making quick work of this course. Oh, don't go off the platform there.
There he goes, right through the Sonic curve. No problem. All he has now is this bull hold.
Gonna take another run at it. #3 athlete in the Heartland standings back in Season 8, showing why here. Just one last lache to go. Makes the catch. Gets out of there. Hits the buzzer. He's fired up. He should be 57 seconds. Great run.
Yeah,
lache to go. Makes the catch.
Might be one of the smoothest runs
Gets
we've
out
seen
of there.
so far,
Hits the
especially through that last obstacle. He was just locked in.
We will need to credit him with an additional point there, which will put him third in the placement course standings. As we move on now to Hugo Conrad, our next last athlete here in the boys division. Hugo rocking the headband. You'd love to see it. Taking one backswing on each of these laches. And out of there.
Running right into the balance.
Yeah, but thankfully takes a second to reset before starting the Stegosaurus. Smart move there.
Yeah, and smart move also skipping the last of those pegs as he heads right into the trapeze.
Showing why he earned that invitation from Motus.
Ooh.
And quickly through the Sonic Curve as well. Last obstacle now.
Nice little cat grab there. Sizing up the trampoline. He gets it.
Reaches for the trapeze, first to do so. And makes the catch.
Little sideways.
Just needs to get centered. And
he gets it. Yeah, he gets it.
Well, he hits the buzzer. We're going to need to double check. He did touch down there on that green mat.
I think he had already crossed the plane, though. But we will see. Donovan Vittori seemed to have given him the thumbs up.
He pointed towards the buzzer, so he would have met, all three conditions of clearing the obstacle. So that should be a clear for Hugo. Again, we need to give one more point to Ivan, which will keep Ivan in third place by just about 1 second. And our last runner now is Easton. Number 1 athlete in the Heartland standings. Quickly through these laches, and we can see why he was number 1. Another Ultimate Ninja St. Louis athlete. Says he started doing ninja when he was 5 years old.
Oh, no.
Yeah, you can tell he's disappointed. The good news is that he showed a lot of promise that he can use on that challenge course where he will be getting some redos.
Yeah, Easton Guemmer, he was looking so smooth there, and yeah, I don't know, he just slipped off. I don't know if it was the pace or sometimes the pegs on the top, they're kind of like PVCs, and they have those caps on them, and they're not perfectly they're not perfectly flat. They're tapered on the sides, so sometimes that can catch you off guard. That might be what happened there. But now we're getting
when you're a top athlete like Easton is, sometimes you just think, oh, I got this, and you go really quickly through those obstacles, and sometimes they can humble you. It says Easton finished on the podium in 14 of his 17 competitions this year, so definitely not used to going out early.
Yeah, but no matter what, the great thing about this format is they obviously get another chance, all these athletes, and the thing with starting early is it's always nice to have to be running later, but it's not unheard of to definitely, as we've seen throughout the season, it's definitely not unheard of to run early and still have a great run and even win. So
yeah, I mean, we've definitely seen it all in the challenge course. We've seen a couple divisions where the challenge course was exactly the same order as the placement course, but we've also seen some athletes who showed a lot of promise but went out early on the placement course still end up taking it down in the challenge course. Obviously, Charlie Ball comes to mind, an uncharacteristic slip for him on the laches back at Ferox, and then showed up very early on the challenge course, threw down a borderline impossible time, and then won it all.
Yeah, that's definitely the biggest example of that this season. And as you can see here, take a look at our leaderboard. We got Shane Young, who had that lightning fast time, 46 seconds.
He was the first first of these boys to run in the placement course, going to get a nice long rest before he runs his challenge course. 46 seconds was just a lightning fast time.
Yeah, that was super speedy. As you can see some of the kids taking a look in the back as they're getting the challenge course all ready to roll.
I think Caleb, based on my intuition here, was a late scratch, and I think they just put him out on the first obstacle so that they could get this run order moving over to the challenge course. So it'll be Ellis Craft up first for the boys, and there we go. Now we have Ivan getting his proper points, which does mean he cleared the Stegosaurus. He had a really close call there.
And what's interesting, just looking at this, we see ones and we see fives. So that Stegosaurus was really deceptively tricky, as it was for the girls.
Yeah.
In the speed course.
Yeah, hopefully that's something our later athletes can learn from if that Stegosaurus is in their course. Obviously, the mature kids and preteens will be a little bit taller, could potentially skip some pegs, but definitely they need to know that, you need to go fast on those laches, probably link them, but then you need to slow down your heart rate and really take that Stegosaurus seriously, or else it could humble you. You could be running the challenge course very early.
Yep, this I'm very interested to see how all these other how our other divisions will be tackling and approaching this placement course. Wonder how many notes they're taking, because of as of right now, the Stegosaurus, it's looking like the crux point, believe it or not. Because usually you see crux points that are upper body, like technical, like laches. But here it's a pretty simple, straightforward balance obstacle. You can never underestimate balance in Ninja. It's something that everybody's had issues with before, but that's what makes it so great. Ninja is a full body sport. Even laches, the thing with laches is like, you're not just using your arms. It's a full body. You're using your arms and legs, your core. So yeah, everything about Ninja is full body. Like, don't let upper and lower body obstacles fool you. Even if we do talk about, we have upper body and lower body. That's just the primary, function of the obstacle.
Exactly, and we had a kind of a surprising crux point at the World Championship with the log split, that tricky balance obstacle that took out so many top athletes.
Yep.
And speaking of crux points, I want to draw attention to that last obstacle, the bull holds. After our world champion Myka Daniel went down on them, I kind of had the feeling that was going to become a crux point, but these later athletes absolutely crushed that obstacle.
Yeah, that's for sure. But as you can see, Myka Daniel, she is super speedy. She was at 30 seconds getting onto the last obstacle. So she's definitely still definitely one to look out for heading into this challenge course.
For sure. If she would have got a second attempt at that obstacle, I get the feeling she would have been able to conquer it.
Oh yeah, for sure. Honestly, that last obstacle kind of felt like more of something that we would have seen in our challenge courses earlier in previous competitions this season. And but yeah, they all our ninjas were really efficient at it and rising up to the challenge.
Certainly true. Victoria with a tremendous run. I believe that would have been second in the boys, actually.
Yeah, something like that. But yeah, she's very fast, and these Obstacle Academy ninjas are really showing up today.
Right. I mean, when you're in the presence of Hunter Gerard and Cal Soderman, very difficult not to be fast.
Yeah, something about the Obstacle Academy that about their kind of style. We're gonna just be seeing a lot of Obstacle Academy athletes because obviously that's like the closest qualifier, and so the thing that always fascinates me about Obstacle Academy is they have a unique course style, and it definitely shows in their athletes' speed. They have it, Hunter always sets up these really crazy courses that are all about just like I was talking about full body movement, like pretty much everything you're grabbing on, like dismounting, like catting onto the truss, catting off of the truss, like everything just flows into each other. And I think that really shows with the technique of the Obstacle Academy athletes. We're still just
Exactly, and that's. I'm sorry. You go. You go.
I was gonna say we're just getting ready here, making sure everything is all set for the challenge course. It's coming up soon, and thank you so much for tuning in today. I am Philip Scott, alongside obviously Alex Cunningham. Here's our upcoming qualifiers for the rest of the season. So as you can see, we got Life Force in a couple weeks' time out of Bellingham, Washington. Very excited to have all of these gyms on board hosting these Premier Series events. Life Force up near Vancouver, Seattle area. And then we have in October, we're going to True Function in Swindon, UK. It's about hour and a half west of London. True Function is the biggest gym in the UK. It's going to be so exciting to see all the top athletes from the UK and Europe take on that course. Then, of course, we have we will definitely be still going to Ninja Academy Israel. It's just we have a date. We just have to confirm everything. It will be sometime in October, I believe. But yeah, Ninja Academy in Rishon LeZion, Israel. We saw the owner of that gym, Gil Morantz, run in at Ferox. So many strong athletes all around the world. As we're getting ready.
All right, looks like we are about ready to get started with this challenge course. Autumn Stanges is going to be up first.
Yep, Autumn sizing up this course.
And how about this for a start? The wall lift.
Wall lift. Whoa.
Not something you usually see in the World Ninja League. At least they don't have to lift up that last one. That's going to be quite heavy for these younger athletes. Getting a whole body workout up early, as now we're on to this kind of body prop looking obstacle. A lot of core strength early on this course.
Definitely. And as she's headed to this undercling obstacle, this one is another really interesting one you don't see often in WNL competitions, but she's making good work of it. Almost to the landing.
I get the feeling this is an obstacle that actually our younger athletes are going to have a little less trouble with because they're going to be able to get most of their hand up onto that ledge.
Exactly what I was thinking. As she's running through now onto...
Later divisions will have to do the spider walk. The rope
slider.
A little bit too short for our athletes here in this kids division, so we are going to have them do that rope slider as we now work on the flying squirrel, the trapeze. Making the catch, and Autumn hasn't used a single retry so far. She is dicing up this course.
Yeah, she's looking very smooth and efficient here. Looking like she has great endurance as she gets ready for these devil steps.
Great lock-off technique here.
Now, getting the pullback, going into this eyeglass.
And thankfully, they don't have to make the eyeglass jump. That's larger than some of these athletes are, but they will have to do the croquet mallets, facing the opposite direction, interestingly, from how they were at the World Championship.
Yeah,
Do get
and
this trapeze, though.
yeah, she just has to get this momentum back up. Sometimes it's tough to, like, lachey off onto a trapeze. Oh, she just misses the dismount, so she'll have to take a second.
Yep, gonna re-rack here.
But yeah, sometimes it's
And back underway.
tough to get your momentum back after lacheying onto a trapeze.
Yeah,
So
you
you
really
gotta
have to catch this trapeze with some momentum so that you can build it up to the next element.
get a nice grab there. Second try, no
There
problem.
we go. On to the fidget spinners. This was the last obstacle stage one all the way back in 2020. Now these kids athletes weren't eligible in 2020.
Yeah, she
So-
just slips off there. She was close, but I think she needs to get a little more on the backswing, and I think she'll be able to make it.
Very true. About a minute left here of her 3.5 minute time limit. Taking kind of a winged approach, interestingly.
Yeah, sometimes it's kind of hard to judge
Makes the catch.
if you're going forward on like that narrow grab. It's kind of tough.
Makes the catch of the third one.
Makes sense to go side to side for our smaller athletes. And she goes right into the sideways grab.
Yeah, still not done. It's a very long obstacle, but she is handling it like a champ. Needs to get off of this slider, makes it.
Looking super smooth here.
Onto the red pipes. She's used up both of her retries.
Now she has to lachey.
Trying to get her feet in place here. Kind of taking like a battering ram almost.
Yeah.
Trying to build up momentum to that second pipe.
I was gonna say lachey, but feet are allowed, so. But this is another obstacle that these coaches at Motus have set up that's something that you don't see often in Ninja. Upside down, trying to reach for these really tricky to grab pipes.
And I believe that is the end of her time limit. Great run by Autumn, really getting some redemption after going out early on the placement course.
Yeah, she had a fantastic run there to start us off here. Had a couple of misses, but then got right back up and figured out her mistakes right on the fly, no problem.
Well, hopefully that will set a great tone for our later athletes. Clara Wilkins is going to be up next.
So we're just getting everything reset, and yeah, I am very excited to see our 10 athletes remaining take on this course. I wonder if anybody will be able to finish this course. The time limit looks pretty tough, but yeah, this will be very exciting to see if anybody can get through this course. I'm very impressed with this course. It's really well thought out. Lots of different, unique movements challenging our athletes today.
I just happened to notice that we have a Clara and a Claire, and they finished 4th and 5th in the North Central.
Very evenly matched here.
Yeah, they are out of different facilities, though. Clara out of Obstacle Academy, and Claire out of Ultimate Ninjas up in the Chicago area.
As we see, and we have Scarlett Myka, Claire, and Victoria running after Clara.
Yeah, these athletes now realizing, as of course we have inverted run order from the placement course, they're realizing that they're going to have to go pretty quickly on a lot of these obstacles because, like you said, this time limit's super tight. The athletes who use the fewest of their retries are probably going to be the most successful here, and they're going to have to move through this whole thing with quite a bit of urgency.
Definitely. And especially that barrel obstacle where you have to undercling it. I think that's going to be a big time sink for a lot of these athletes. But I definitely think that we can see a finisher. It's just a matter of who can execute the best here.
Right, I think there's only one more obstacle after that, as Clara getting a little bit of an early upper body workout. Going for the crawl underneath that second wall. Don't blame her. And onto the handstand. We do see obstacles like this sometimes where they have to keep their feet on the wall, hands below them. I know we've done that at Iron City before.
Yeah, I think it's just kind of a
seen that in some competitions.
variation of the body prop.
Now, Clara front gripping this like a cliffhanger, but it's working.
Yeah, so the tops of the ledges are in play for these kids athletes. She's taking advantage of that, nice and efficient, going through that ring swing, running right through now. On to
rope slider up next. Gotta get your feet nice and high here so that you don't touch the ground.
Now for a flying squirrel into the trapeze.
Makes the catch the trapeze. Looking to get out of there, she does. Onto the devil steps. Very efficient through this. And just needs to get out of there. She does. And she will be moving on to the croquet mallets. This is where Autumn had to use the first of her retries a moment ago. This, I think, is the longest placement course, or excuse me, the longest challenge course we've seen yet this season, really testing the athlete's endurance.
Yeah, definitely. I think we saw a bit of a longer one too at Austin Ninjas, but yeah, you were right. This is definitely taxing for our athletes. Oh, she's
not able to choke up on that croquet mallet. Definitely going to be a tougher grab for a lot of our younger athletes. We're going to see the older athletes go through this pretty quickly just because of their longer wingspan. For these kids, it's quite a challenge.
It reaches down now to this trapeze. Got to build up that swing again.
Yeah, I would have liked to see her grab that with a little bit more momentum so she could try to lâcher to this instead of static it.
But she makes it through.
She got it the second time. On to the fidget spinners with 45 seconds left. Still one retry left, but running out of time is going to get a chance to use that second reset. And still enough time to beat this obstacle. I'm not quite sure about the red pipes, though. Catch on that second fidget spinner. Now the third. Got it.
She's got it,
she can move up to that sliding board with 10 seconds left. Really needs to get out of there. Tries to front grip it. And just didn't have the height. Had to move there at the end. Very good run, though, from Claire. Beating 8 obstacles. We will see if that is good enough to be in the top 4.
Yeah, I think the grip just gave out there at the end. But still, what a great run. So we're headed on to Scarlett's run next. We have 4 athletes left for the girls, and then we'll be headed right into our boys.
So we know now that these athletes are going to need to get to the red pipes fast enough or beat that obstacle to secure a spot. At this point, based on the number of athletes we have, finishing in first place will automatically secure you a spot at Ferox. We aren't quite eliminating athletes yet, but these athletes who are running in the last 4 at least know what they need to do to secure their spot and not have to wait on the results of the other athletes.
But you still will have to go pretty far into this course
For
and
sure.
be efficient to get through.
Well, Scarlett was the number 1 athlete in the Heartland standings, as we mentioned in the Open, having a lot of problems with this wall. There we go. I think she might just not have had a good grip on it. Taking the second one much better and crawling underneath.
So we're headed now onto the wall.
Solid work here out of Scarlett so far. Through and onto the undercling. Although we've seen this become more of an overcling for some of these athletes. Yeah, you're good. Keep going. Now we're seeing some undercling and a crossover of the feet. Scarlett attacking this obstacle with aggressiveness.
Now headed right into the ring swing. Now running a light jog through onto a rope slider. It's just kind of... the rope slider is pretty deceiving. It has like this pendulum effect because it's hanging off of that pipe coaster. So it makes you kind of like swing back as you're sliding down. She's making nice work here of these trapezes.
Great efficiency by Scarlett. One of the faster runs to this point, I believe. Only 1.5 minutes into her 3.5 minute time limit. Out of the devil steps. Onto the croquet mallet. So far, we've seen both of our athletes use their first of 2 retries on this obstacle. But both completed on their second attempt. Can Scarlett get it on the first?
Oh!
No, she cannot. Slipped off there.
Just slipped.
Thankfully, we have some nice fluffy mats here at Motus.
Yeah, I think she just grabbed too far forward, so that just made it slide all the way down, just the way the swing arm is offset. Now she's grabbing around.
There you go. Gets
Gets
out
it.
of there. On to the fidgets.
I think she has the most time out of anyone so far to this point remaining. Big jump, big swing generation there on the fidget spinner. She's going to the last one here. No
Both athletes
problem.
have used retries so far in this obstacle. Autumn completed it. Claire ran out of time. So Scarlett could definitely put herself right up there with the first try clear, which it looks like she is on her way to doing. It just needs to find this dismount. Which she
She's got
does.
35 seconds. She has to hurry.
Now, she has the right idea. Trying to kind of bat it to get a swing built up.
Yeah, she's gonna have to
Help her reach
lachey
this
if
pipe.
she's gonna have to lachey if she wants to get through with the time left. Oh,
And
but she
now-
uses her legs up on this one.
Smart. But running out of time, didn't get the grip on it, and it's going to swing away from her.
She's gonna have to go for this lachey
no,
here.
it's
Oh.
going away from her. And with 3 seconds left, not going to be able to get another attempt at that obstacle. Tremendous run by Scarlett. We will have to see if that puts her into first place.
Great run out of Scarlett. She looked really smooth. Lots of power generation there. Big swings. Made that dismount on that second to last obstacle, no problem.
And tremendous resiliency also, obviously going out on the placement course, having a little bit of trouble with the wall lifting at the beginning of the challenge course, but then motoring right through the rest.
Yeah, let's take a quick look at what our standings are so far for the girls.
So we're dealing with, we need to do a bit of editing and post on those standings.
But as you can see, though, Scarlett, I think is in first place.
Yeah, we will need to double check on that. I think the 8 obstacles for Claire on 238 is correct. In any event, Myka Daniel, our world champion, coming up next.
Yeah, Myka moving through these wall lifts, no problem.
And she is motoring right through the handstand, fastest so far.
She's going right into this undercling. Staying nice and high.
Myka, as we mentioned, world champion, beat all 3 stages at the world championship to boot. And Myka just ran past the ring.
Oh no!
Oh my goodness, a mental error is going to cost her a retry. And she tapped down. Oh my goodness.
Oh no.
That's it for Myka. I think might have hurt her foot also.
Oh,
heartbreaking for Myka.
Oh, you gotta feel for her.
And that means that our world champion is going to be eliminated, not qualifying for the Premier Series finals. Just goes to show you anything can happen in Premier Series.
Yeah, but you gotta feel for her. I hope her leg's okay there. It looks like she might have twisted her ankle a little bit on that dismount. We'll double check, make sure she's good.
Such a tough break there. Well, Claire Mattern coming up next. At only 6 years old, she conquered a 12-foot warped wall.
Wow.
Yeah. Wasn't able to attend Worlds due to family commitments, it said, but looking to get some revenge here at Premier Series. See if she's able to qualify for Premier Series finals, perhaps. Quickly moving through the handstand. Claire, we mentioned, trains out of Ultimate Ninjas up in Chicago. We'll see a lot of Ultimate Ninja St. Louis athletes, but she is a Chicago athlete. Claire making her way through the undercling. Hopefully going to learn from Myka's mistakes here. There we go. Now she can run through. Onto the rope slider. Grabs low, but able to get through it.
Now she's headed onto these trapezes. Big swing here. Nice low grab there. Keeps the momentum going.
Claire moving with quite a bit of speed. Up to these devil steps. We will see this get quite a bit more challenging when athletes have to do that eyeglass jump. But in the meantime, Claire looking to be the first athlete today to get through the croquet mallets in one shot. And she does!
She is flying.
If she can beat this obstacle in a fast enough time, she will secure her spot at Ferox.
One more of these fidgets to go, then go up into that tilting slider.
I get the feeling we're going to see these linked at some point during the weekend. But in any event, Claire making great work here. Minute and a half to go. Needs to get out of there. She does. Hasn't used a single retry so far, as she is the fastest onto the red pipes. Great side-to-side wingnut hips, as I've heard them called. Look at that kick! We said hands and feet were allowed. The bad news is she kicked it as she was going away from it, and now it's offset.
But she just has to be patient and time this up. Oh.
Okay, interesting.
Good idea resetting it there, actually.
Yeah, but I would have liked to see her change the swing pattern. Yeah.
Oh, so close.
Maybe here? Think she's got the right idea. Got a hand on it.
She's got it.
By the fingertips, hooks the legs. Under 30 seconds, but looking potentially like the first clear. Now just the last obstacle to go. It's these VCRs. 20 seconds.
I think she has to go up into that trapeze. Oh, she just
got her
slips
hands
off.
caught. 16 seconds. Could be enough time. We'll have to see. Back underway, 15 to go. Needs to catch those side ledges here.
She has to go right away here and go drop down.
Checking the clock.
And she
has just enough time. Claire Mattern is going to be our first clear in the nick of time, securing her spot both in the top two and at Premier Series finals.
Wow. What a run. She was so smooth and efficient through all these obstacles. She had a little bit of a puzzle to figure out on those barrels, but once she got through that, then she had another puzzle to figure out in the VCR, but she also figured that one out and made it through with just about 4 seconds left. What a great run.
Tremendous stuff by Claire. You can see there, she has secured her spot. We also now see that Scarlett has secured her spot. We think Claire has, but we'll have to double check. In the meantime, Victoria Wren, our final athlete, 8th in the power rankings, 3rd at the World Championship. Such an elite resume for this young woman.
Absolutely. As she's headed very quickly through that handstand.
Just needs to find her footing here on the undercling.
Just moving on through.
Trying to get a look at the Gym Nova Ninja?
Yep, yeah, that's in Virginia.
So a long trip, but now you don't have to do that obstacle, Victoria. We've seen already today these athletes can get a little bit ahead of themselves. They just get in the zone and think more about going fast than about what obstacle to go to next.
Victoria getting ready for this trapeze jump. Quick dismount here.
Great work for Victoria so far, but still work to do. We saw Myka went out a second ago. Victoria looking to get some revenge for her fellow world's podiumer. Podiumer, not a word, but it is now.
Making short work of the mallets. Nice and collected.
Yeah, we're starting to see these athletes figure out the mallets and also figuring out these fidget spinners. Victoria, great work getting the hips behind her when she catches the fidget. So you can definitely tell those coaches at Nova have trained her well.
Now just getting this dismount, and she's got it. Minute 30 left as she moves on to the last two obstacles of this course.
I'm fairly certain this is the fastest time to the red pipes. And she's going hand over hand.
Very calculated statics here. Just like on the croquet mallets. She's making short work of this and just has to get this dismount Be patient on the back.
I'd like to see her get a little bit more forward on the red pipe here, on this second pipe. Oh, no. And you can see, yeah, just came off on the dismount. She would have had by far the fastest time through this. I think she was the fastest time to this obstacle. Plenty of momentum, and then just quickly off of that second VCR box, and backflip.
Yeah, wow. 37 seconds left. That looked really smooth.
So we know Victoria, Claire, and Scarlett will be our podium. We'll need to double check if Claire or Autumn took that 4th spot. But in the meantime, we head to the gentleman. Ellis Craft going to be going up first. Ellis, the number 2 athlete in the Heartland, having some trouble with this second wall.
There he goes.
It does wobble a bit, so you really need to get it going directly up, I think. Made to stage 2, and although he went out on the metronomes, we saw a lot of top athletes go out on those metronomes. It really did humble some of our very best in the world.
Alice now getting ready for this undercling movement on through.
He is through. He's line up the dismount. As we've seen, it's not a gimme, that ring slider. We saw a world champion be eliminated on that obstacle a moment ago. In the meantime, Ellis making good work through the rope slider now as he works his way to the flying squirrel. Nice big kicks. And we're seeing with a lot of these earlier athletes throughout the day, the Stegosaurus really just humbled some of our faster athletes who maybe are more adept at upper body obstacles. So we can see Ellis is just motoring through this entire course so far. So we're going to be seeing a lot of these earlier athletes perhaps putting up quite a gauntlet for our later competitors.
Now, just pulls right through the mallets now. He's headed onto the fidget spinners into the slider.
One backswing off of that first fidget, going to need to take 2 off of the second. Now
gets the grab
slider.
Yeah, it's a heavy slider. It looks like because it's going downwards that's going to go fast, but nope, you gotta slide it, just like an old school pipe slider.
Especially for these younger athletes, they're going to be quite a bit lighter than our later competitors here in the weekend. Ellis having the right idea, pushing that ram forward so he can move quickly. And it looks like he's going to size up the second one, makes the lache. Ellis has not used a single retry so far. All right, on to the last obstacle. 35 seconds, both retries in his back pocket, although you're only allowed 1 retry per obstacle.
Oh,
and he's going to have to use it there as he slipped off of that last element.
But he has the time.
Now he can go. He does have to wait for the obstacle to be reset. Clock is paused during those resets, of course.
He just needs to get through this, get on out of there, and he's got it.
There it is.
15 seconds left.
Ellis Craft in a time of 3:14. Easy as pie, one could say. And I get the feeling you are going to need to complete this course if you want to be in these top 4 of these boys.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, you're gonna have to. I think you have to finish even, and you got to finish quickly to be in the conversation about qualifying here. But Alice had such a great run. All of his friends congratulating him,
and you love to see that familial aspect of Ninja. Such a great community. Everybody supporting one another. even in the younger divisions.
So we got Beckett Klein up
going
next.
to be our next athlete. Another athlete who made it to stage 2, made it all the way to the last obstacle of stage 2, actually, the X Factor. That was his second World Championships, also competed a year ago. Was number 5 in the Heartland standings, and it says here he's already 5 feet tall. So he's going to have a height advantage on some of these competitors, probably throughout his ninja career.
Yeah, wow. I wasn't 5 feet tall until I was about 14 years old, so...
Same for me, although you sprouted up late. I stayed short, unfortunately.
Well, he is moving on now onto this ring swing. No problem. Now he does the little jog, little dash vault onto the rope slider.
Yeah, very calm and controlled, saving his energy for some of these later obstacles. Although quickly on to the flying squirrel. Good link there. Looking really to rely on his speed between obstacles. Very underrated element of ninja. He went really high up on the devil steps. And dropping down into a swing gave him plenty of momentum to grab the eyeglass. A little bit of a belly flop up to the croquet mallets. On the trapeze now. Second, and he's through. Halfway through his time as he approaches the fidget spinners. Great catch there with momentum, keeping his hips behind him. Does the same on the third, although starting to get a little crooked. Centers himself back up as he grabbed... I guess he wasn't totally straightened out there. Grabbed the left side and never really got his right hand on it.
He's gonna get set back up here. Think about how to approach it a little better. It's Coach Aiden Moran on the sidelines.
On the fidget spinners in a couple of runs. So Beckett in the danger zone here, needing to beat this obstacle on this attempt. Front grabbing it now. But great resiliency to get through it.
Now just eyeing up this dismount.
Minute to go. He's out of there. 2 obstacles still left. Has the time.
Just got to be smooth.
In order to beat Ellis's time, probably going to have to get through both these obstacles without using that last retry. Although
nice
he's slipping
push.
here. Great recovery by the fingertips.
Can he get off of there? Kick off. Now he's got it.
35 seconds. Has time. Up to that thick pipe hold. Now the side grab. Gets both hands on it. Just the dismount. And Beckett is going to move into first place.
Wow.
308.
That was clutch there. That... We'll have to take a look again at that pipe technique where he pushed it out really far, so then he swung right to it, and then he had a great save on it as well. See, nice and calm through. Even when he had this little slip up here, he still regrouped, made it through, then ran right to the buzzer. Fastest time so far.
We will have to see how well that time is going to hold up. We've already seen our boys are 2 for 2. And Easton Guemmer is going to be our next athlete. The number 1 athlete in the Heartland division. We mentioned earlier, it says he placed in 14 of his 17 competitions this year. Coming out of Ultimate Ninja St. Louis. Just an unfortunate slip up on the Stegosaurus, but we've already seen 2 athletes who went down on the Stegosaurus beat this entire challenge course. We will have to see if Easton can make that 3 for 3.
Yep, Easton Guemmer up next. Right into this wall lift. Having a little trouble, but he's getting this one up. And then it locks into place.
Easton, one of our younger athletes to boot, only 6 years old. Still making good work on the wall lifting now. And despite his first year eligible, not only for the kids division, but for the World Ninja League in general, making it through stage 1, very impressive.
Absolutely.
So he still has 2 more years of eligibility in this division.
Now we're headed on through the undercling. Oops.
Bit of a jump scare. Easton now onto the ring slider through that, and like all of our other athletes, he's making that vault just for good measure. Wanted to get a good high vantage point so he can take a good look at the rest of the obstacles ahead of him on this course.
It's looking really smooth there.
Tongue out as well. That is the famous ninja game face.
Big backswing there.
Well, he's halfway through the course. Great lock-offs here on the devil steps. This, I think, might be the fastest we've seen anyone get through this course so far.
Yep, now he's headed on to the croquet mallets.
Up to the second one and gets out of there. Minute 40 to go. Fidget spinners up next.
Huge backswings here.
No kidding.
Now he's lined right up for the grab, and it slides right down because he gets such a good trajectory.
Great momentum, big smiles on his face. He should be very happy with how this run is going so far, but still work to be done. Oh! Tried to reach for it, and yeah, Easton's going to have to reset there. Going to have to go back to the platform as well.
Now
back underway, now getting up there, realizing he's not going to have the height. We mentioned only 6 years old, only 4 feet tall, so not quite able to bat it, but still able to get
able to get the dismount here.
The bad news is he only has one attempt at the dismount. His hands are starting to slide, but he gets through. 50 seconds left onto the VCRs.
Yeah, nice calm grabs there, just really smooth and deliberate pace. Now dismounting on one side.
One-siding that second box. He's fired up with the new fastest time of 2:53. Who would have thought this grueling endurance course would start to turn into a speed course, kind of reminiscent of the elites at Ferox.
Easton Guemmer just absolutely destroyed this course. His backswings were massive. Got right through the slider really quickly. And then one-siding the cliff on the side, and then right to the buzzer. Fastest time so far. It's going to be hard to beat.
Tremendous stuff by Easton. 3 for 3 already as we move on to Grant Wolff. Another Obstacle Academy athlete. Has a 7.5 foot lache. Just about to turn 8 this month. Shares a birthday month with you, Philip.
Yep, and now he's moving on kind of low legs on the handstand. But that's interesting. Different technique works for him. As we're headed now into...
Yeah, he's keeping this low center of gravity on both the handstand and the undercling here. Bit of a foot slip, but he is through just fine.
Yeah, that might be a little quicker.
Thought about that vault.
Yeah, it's one of our taller athletes, so He might have just felt more comfortable that way. But
At 4'7".
yep, now he's moving on through.
Trains with Sam Farr and Jarrah Boyd up there at Obstacle Academy. Two very elite ninjas in their own right.
Oh yeah. As we're headed now into, he was off the trapezes, now he headed off into Devil Step. Transfer.
Makes the grab, makes the dismount. And onto the croquet mallets. This is really the first obstacle that athletes have been having trouble with on this course. Quickly through. Minute 37 to go. Still 3 more obstacles. This very long fidget spinner to that sideways slider is the first.
He's got it. Definitely has the
12.
time.
Learning from Easton's mistakes, not trying to bat it. This was Easton's only retry, by the way. Just slipping off at the start. Grant looking to be our first athlete to not need any of his retries. But that red pipe's starting to go away from him. It's getting a little closer now.
And that red pipe's thicker, so it's tougher to wrap your hands around it, so that's why he's trying to get the legs on.
I think he really needs to go for the hands here. And finally, that's what he's going to do. Going to go for an early dismount. Makes it. VCR's now with 32 seconds left.
Yep, he's got to go right here. 25 seconds left as he moves on to this VCR. Popping right through, and he's got it. Second fastest time.
He is our first I think he just missed the second fastest time by 1 second.
Oh,
but in any event, our first athlete to clear this course unblemished.
Yeah, that's true. No retries needed. He's just smooth and calm and collected, just like his placement course run. Just knew he could get everything in one go.
We will see if the speed comes back to haunt him, though, as he currently sits in third place. Hugo Conrad going to be our next athlete. He beat the placement course in 58 seconds a moment ago. And a quick look at our standings so far. Hard to believe that Ellis cleared this entire course and just 3 runs later is on the bubble.
Yeah, all these times are really close together. So these athletes will need to study with their coaches, their parents, figure out where they can gain time. Best places to gain time. And I think the best place to gain time might be the fidget spinners. But we will see as he goes moving now.
You got to start on the platform.
Yep, there he goes.
World Ninja League rules do dictate that you need to start with your feet on the platform. Hugo, it doesn't look like was in any World Ninja League competitions last year, so obviously we are very interested in standardizing the sport here at the WNL. Hugo, though, getting through the rest of these obstacles here very quickly as he moves on to the flying squirrel.
Then Hugo. Nice big throw there. So we're headed now into Devil Steps. It's going to reach out to this ring. Pull back. And dismount.
Oh, just barely catching that dismount, too. Thankfully, it's pretty close. Not a ton of momentum on this first croquet mallet, but he has this trapeze to help him get up some momentum on the second. There we go. Bit of a belly flop onto that platform. 3 obstacles to go.
Gets the first one.
Making the catch. And I'd really like to see him catch with the hips behind so that he retains momentum to the next one. Get some good momentum here. Needs to center up.
But he's lined up.
There we go.
He's lined up good here. Got it. Now he's just got to get off of there. He's got it. He has the time to... He still has the time to get into a qualifying position. It's going to be tough. Got to be efficient here. This has been such a tough crux point for everyone. Onto this one. But he's got it.
Oh, yeah, great fingertip strength by so many of our competitors! Oh. And he just slipped off going for the dismount. That's going to cost him quite a bit of time.
So close. You could see he was just great grip strength there, just hanging on by his palms on the sides.
These kids are so incredibly strong at
I know,
such a young age. But not able to get the second one in the second attempt. He's going to come undone on the red pipes. Still, though, a very good run for Hugo. Showing the World Ninja League what he's all about.
Absolutely. And so close to that dismount, but yeah, it's so hard to get a good grab on it because the barrel kind of like sways either way and tilts, and obviously it's bigger than the first one. So you got to just make sure to like get on there and grab right away and not try to re-grab, because if you try to re-grab, then you just will start slipping even more.
Very true. Well, Easton Guemmer, with that lightning fast time, has secured his spot at the Premier Series Finals. Ivan Schmidt looking to do the same and join the gentleman on his shirt, Electric Enzo, at Premier Series Finals at Ferox. We saw Enzo qualify 4 weeks ago back at Motive.
Now he's moving right through really quickly through these wall lifts. You gotta get more gyms having wall lifts. I like it.
Completely agree.
Low on the handstand works really well for him. He moves fast. Grabbing the
kind
side
of a
here.
side cling here. Interesting approach. And he slipped off. Okay, reset. Get it out of your head. Another reset. Gonna get some extra chalk. It looks like his hands were starting to slip. Really having some trouble figuring out what to do here on the undercling.
You gotta utilize those thumbs really well.
Ooh, almost did the same mistake. There we go.
Close call there, but he makes it through. Gets out of his head. Keeps moving through very fast.
Ivan also a swimmer, and swimming such intense core strength required. Fun fact, Philip, swimming, the sport that requires the second most muscles. Although Ninja was not part of that survey, so Ninja's probably up there.
Yeah, definitely Ninja's up there. Now, he's been making very good time here.
Hit a buzzer on stage 1. Hit a buzzer earlier in the placement course. Looking to get another buzzer here on the challenge course as he makes his way through the croquet mallets.
Ooh. Thinks about the dismount there, but now he gets it.
3 obstacles to go. Not the fastest time we've seen to this point, so he's going to need to get moving here.
Lining up, going for this one. Now, getting it again.
Makes the jump up. Getting some momentum here for the Charlie. Under a minute. And remember, just hitting that buzzer is not going to be enough to get into the top 4, so Ivan's going to need to get moving here. But after wiping his hands off, chalk, not really too helpful on this nylon. Could make you slip a little bit. But he gets his legs up, and now that cost him some momentum. 35 seconds.
Gassed out. This is what we want.
Can you get the grab here? Oh, it just slips off.
Yeah, he had to send it. 27 seconds left.
No, I'm not. No, you know
It's
that.
going to be hard to get that buzzer now.
I just want
Can he overcome the odds and do it?
Please gas.
Maybe a buzzer
Big
beater if
strides
you
the
can get
second
through.
time. 17 seconds left.
Oh,
And he
just
slips
slipped.
off a second time.
The next
A
one's
tough
gonna
break
be
there for
appropriate.
Ivan, but still making
I'd
it
rather have
very
more
deep
clears
into
here.
this
If we're gonna
course.
mess up and have clears,
We've been talking about how
they're
the
gonna
second
earn that
one's thicker than the first, but the first one is definitely not bar size. The first barrel.
No.
Eli,
You got
Shane.
it. So he was probably feeling his grip slip a little bit, and it's a little hard to judge lashing when you're not used to that kind of barrel lashing.
So Beckett Klein secures his spot in the Premier Series finals. Grant Wolff will be the next athlete in, and Ellis Kraft will spend 2 athletes on the bubble. We'll need to survive 2 more.
What up? 1, 2, and 3.
Our next athlete up will be Eli Liu.
What? Podium, yeah. One up top.
Eli's coming out of Ninja Mania, the furthest traveler of anyone so far, all the way up in Connecticut.
Okay, we'll get
That's up near in the New York City area, just outside of New York City. Now he's
we can just take the
ready
two
to
from the
roll.
flywheel.
Now, something I just noticed because that name sounded familiar, Eli competed back at Motive, went out on the next to last on-score with Deja Vu, and finished in 7th. So, looking to get a buzzer here today, you're going to need one to qualify here in his second attempt.
Like a half or
Yeah, as we've progressed through this season, we've
He's
seen.
trying something here. Hold the phone. It didn't work.
Oh, he missed it.
Well-
So close though.
It was worth a shot. Obstacle doesn't need reset, so now he'll do it the conventional way. Okay, ooh, watch your feet there.
That was a good thought though. I was actually thinking that myself.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of athletes who have cleared this course not need both of their retries, so you do have that available to you on the challenge course, and I like the send.
Yeah, and it didn't affect his time too much. It only cost him a couple seconds. Worth a shot.
Yeah, I agree.
But who knows? He might need those retries later on in the course. But he's looking strong here. He might looking like he doesn't need him.
Very smooth through the double steps. That might be the fastest we've seen anyone beat that yet.
Yeah, exactly. Very controlled. Now for the croquet mallets. He's got to reach.
Eli beat the croquet mallets at Worlds. Made it to the back half of stage 2. So he moves on to the fidget spinners. One backswing and goes. Let's see if he does the same for this third one. Now he's going to take an extra swing. He's going to need a couple extra to get up to this trolley.
Should be going right here, and he's got it, and it slides down quite a ways.
Yeah, getting some momentum on that trolley has proved to be a big time saver. Just barely getting that dismount. Oh no, they didn't give it to him.
Oh no!
Oh, devastating. At the very end of this really long obstacle.
Yeah, he touched his hand back. Now he's gonna have to send it.
After using basically no time on the first retry, it kind of evened out there.
Yeah, so maybe the retries will come into play.
Up to the trolley now, once again getting some momentum.
needs to get that out of his head now and just go efficient. He can still do it.
Careful you don't overshoot there. No more retries to use. Got to beat these last 2 obstacles and quickly enough to get into the top 4. Oh, just barely hanging on. Great wherewithal.
Oh, good recovery there.
Popping his way up. Still a ways away from
He
that
has to
platform.
move.
Tiptoes it in. I'd like to see him kick off, maybe, and just short.
Yeah.
Eli, a tremendous run. And
It's making me eat my words here. I was just like, oh, there's Ivan.
yeah, we're looking at Ivan's run here. Hopefully we'll get Eli. There's
Eli. Yeah, so he had that. At first I was like, worth a shot, but then I said, hopefully it doesn't come back to bite him, but it did. Oh.
So we have seen an incredibly interesting turn of events here, where potentially the top 4 athletes in the placement course could be finishing outside of the top 4 in the challenge, as first, second, and third who have qualified so far weren't in the top 4 of the placement course. So it's really, this challenge course has really turned the competition on its head, but Shane Young was looking so dominant. If anyone is going to break that curse, it's going to be Shane.
Shane headed through now.
Shane's out of
Rocking
next
the
level ninjas.
rocking those Onitsuka Tuggers. That was the old school ninja shoe before Zantes came around. Anyway, he's through the handstand no problem.
Shane only 4'4", but an 8'3" lache at only 7 years old. And he's done 35 pull-ups unbroken.
Yeah, so many of these kids just have such incredible endurance. I've seen a lot of kids have like
taking a little high vantage point there. Go ahead.
a lot of kids I've seen have had really long dead hang times. I'm sure Shane has a really good one too if he can do 35 pull-ups in a row. He's headed into the trapeze jump here.
There's a lot of laches still left on this course. This one of them. Getting up the devil steps now. This one all about strength and efficiency. Almost looked like he thought about skipping the eyeglass. That would have been something. Well, onto the croquet mallets.
Gets that one-handed swing going. He's moving on through.
Shane didn't compete much this season, only 15th in the Northeast, but we're seeing now, if he competed in a full season of WNL, he might have been at the very top.
And was pulling through.
Such good hit movement, in fact, I think he bumped into the truss. Incidental though, so still in it. Needs to straighten out here. Up to the trolley. Slides a little bit for him. And he's through 2 obstacles left. No blemish on his record so far.
It's just going to be smooth and efficient here. This last 2 obstacles.
Backing all the way out, and he gets a great jump.
Should be able... If he keeps this pace up, he should be able to... Oh, no!
Oh, he tried to one-hand it. Oh, my goodness. These red pipes are becoming a crux point. And if Shane goes out here again, all 4 of the top 4 on the placement course would go out on these red pipes. And the other 4 would be moving on to finals.
Well, let's hope that's not the case, though. For Shane.
Getting a better grip this time.
Oh.
Okay. Smart, though. Smart.
Yep,
You don't have another retry in the bag. 29 seconds, and time now becoming a factor.
Absolutely.
The athlete that was the fastest by far on the placement course. Needs to beat this in about 10 more seconds. Thankfully, though, he's on the last box. And Shane
He's
is
got
going to
it.
move on. Gave us a bit of a scare, but Shane Young claiming that final spot at Premier Series Finals in Fair Oaks. And that'll be a much shorter drive from home, coming out of Jersey. One more look at his run. Just a little bit of time there on the wall lifting, but was able to make up for it with efficiency throughout the rest of this course. Getting the buzzer, 3 minutes and 14 seconds, and we kind of saw a conglomeration of athletes there. Oh, wow.
I was about
this.
to say, I don't think it's that close, Alex. I think I was like, I think it was closer than that.
Yeah, I might have called that a little preemptively. Shane Young getting that last qualifying spot by 0.15 seconds.
Yeah, he had to move. I was thinking, I'm like, yeah, it was 3:14, so yeah. I was waiting. I was holding my breath, waiting for that. I was like, is that higher or lower? Man, what a close one. I'd like to see those runs side by side.
Shane just barely edging out Ellis. He spent 3 runs on the bubble, but unfortunately bubbles out. Easton Guemmer is going to take the win with the fastest time by 15 seconds. Incredible stuff by Easton and by all these athletes.
Yeah, all these athletes made it really far into this course, but that crux point,
Here's Ellis's run.
Yep, crux point ended up being those pipes.
In a roundabout way, pipes on both sides because of the Stegosaurus on the placement. Ellis went out there in the slowest time, and it ended up biting him, beating the entire course on the challenge course, but just missing out by 0.15. If he knew he needed to move a little bit faster, perhaps he might have.
Yeah, just a little bit, but still a great run. It's always tough to go early and hope that your time holds up, but almost qualifies. Still a great run.
As we take one more look at Shane's run, who just beat him out. Shane started to lose time there on the wall lifting, but made up for it late.
So happy they're watching the stream now.
Yeah, run right to the buzzer.
Yeah, imagine if he would have taken one more backswing. That would have eliminated him, and we almost had the bottom 4 athletes of the placement become the top 4 athletes of the challenge. In any event, Easton, Beckett, and Grant making up for either finishing the slowest or failing on the Stegosaurus, and then making it through to the finals in the challenge course. We mentioned the Open. Anything can happen on that challenge course.
Absolutely. As we take a look at Easton's run again.
This is your winning time, and such smooth efficiency throughout this course.
I believe he's out of Ultimate Ninjas St. Louis with Aiden Moran on the sidelines.
Yeah, we'll be seeing Aiden tomorrow in the Elites, and with quite a few athletes hitting buzzers so far. In fact, the toughest thing he had trouble with was the chain separating the audience from the course.
Yeah.
Well, over on the... Well, actually, we have this graphic that you made showing the... that's the mature kids.
Pull up the other one. Oh,
in the meantime, on the girls' side, we do have a little bit of calculus to do. Victoria and Claire for sure through. We think Scarlett, and then either Claire or Autumn are going to have to retime those runs. I am not 100% sure, but I think it should be Autumn. But again, a little bit of calculus to do there. Victoria and Claire... actually, wait a minute. Yes, Victoria was the fastest run, boys or girls.
Yeah, she had a very quick run there. Just absolutely super efficient.
Tremendous stuff by the bronze medalist at the World Championship. She's the gold medalist today, and will look to do that again at Premier Series Finals.
I think.
What a run by Victoria! Oh yeah, I forgot about the backflip.
Yep, the backflip to top it all off.
Well, what a
So
competition we have seen here today at Motus, but so much more still to come in this weekend.
And, of course, the rest of the season. We got 3 more qualifiers plus Premier Series Finals. So we got Life Force, True Function, and Ninja Academy Israel all up through the rest of September and October. And then middle of November, we got, I believe, November 16th and 17th, if my memory serves me correctly.
Lots of other countries still to show off in the Premier Series, but we're focusing on the heartland of America today. Quick look at the schedule for you. We will be back in about an hour and a half for the Mature Kids division. And after these kids dice up this course, I cannot wait to see what these Mature Kids do. Perhaps Donovan will have to make this course a little bit tougher.
Yeah, that's what I'm guessing. I think, hey, obviously, that's usually how it goes with these divisions, is each one, it obviously is progressively scaled up. Usually you design it from the elite level, and then kind of that way it makes it easier to make it like a kind of linear progression: kids, mature kids, preteens, teens, and up. So it will be very interesting to see what modifications will be made for the mature kids course.
We'll find out in an hour and a half. Tune in at 12 p.m. Central Time, 1 p.m. on the East Coast. Philip, thanks for hopping in on short notice.
Absolutely. Great to have me. Great having you.
It was great to have you, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we will be back in an hour and a half for the Mature Kids here at Motus in Kansas City.
I'm gonna have to specifically get a paddle, probably a children's paddle.
She'd rather
Because I
you
don't
do it, but she could if you wanted.
Yes, so like my hands, they're like I couldn't move the next day. I was like, well. I made the biggest purchase of my life on Thursday.